Have you ever wondered what turns an ordinary person into a monster? Before he became the face of terror, Adolf Hitler was a rejected artist, a disillusioned soldier, and a man consumed by a deep, simmering resentment. How did these early experiences forge the dictator who would bring the world to its knees? Let's peel back the layers of history and uncover the making of a monster. Our story begins not in the halls of power, but in a small town in Austria. Born in 1889, young Adolf had a difficult relationship with his strict authoritarian father, who often crushed his artistic ambitions. His mother, however, doted on him, perhaps fueling a sense of specialness that would later curdle into a dangerous narcissism. From an early age, he was a dreamer, but one whose dreams were constantly at odds with reality. He was a mediocre student, often lost in fantasies of grandeur, showing little interest in anything but art and German history. After his father's death, a teenage Hitler moved to Vienna, the vibrant heart of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, with dreams of becoming a great artist. He applied to the prestigious Vienna Academy of Fine Arts not once, but twice. And twice, he was rejected. The academy told him he had more talent for architecture, but lacking the formal education, that door was also closed. This rejection was a devastating blow to his ego. Imagine, the man who would later demand the world bend to his will couldn't even get into art school. Forced to live in homeless shelters and men's hostels, Hitler experienced a period of profound poverty and social isolation. It was in the gritty, multicultural streets of Vienna that the seeds of his venomous ideology began to sprout. He devoured anti-Semitic pamphlets and was captivated by the rhetoric of populist politicians who blamed Jews and foreigners for society's ills. He saw a world of struggle, where different groups fought for dominance, and he began to see himself and the German people as victims. This sense of victimhood, mixed with his personal failures, created a toxic cocktail of rage and resentment. He wasn't just a failed artist anymore. He was a man looking for someone to blame. Then came the Great War. For a drifting, aimless Hitler, the outbreak of World War I in 1914 was a godsend. It gave him what he had always craved: a purpose, a cause, and a brotherhood. He eagerly volunteered for the German army and served as a dispatch runner on the Western Front. By all accounts, he was a brave soldier, earning the Iron Cross twice for his service. The war became his home, the trenches his university. Here, he felt he finally belonged. The chaos and violence of the front lines didn't break him, they hardened him. He found a sense of fulfillment in the life-or-death struggle, a stark contrast to his listless existence in Vienna. But this sense of purpose was shattered in 1918. While recovering from a gas attack that temporarily blinded him, Hitler heard the news. Germany had surrendered. The war was over. For him and many of his comrades, it was an unimaginable shock. They believed they were on the verge of victory. The surrender wasn't a military defeat in their eyes, it was a betrayal, a stab in the back by weak-willed politicians, Marxists, and, in his increasingly warped view, the Jews on the home front. This feeling of betrayal was the final, crucial ingredient. All his personal disappointments, his artistic rejection, his poverty, his social alienation, it all coalesced with this national humiliation. The Germany he had fought for, the cause he had bled for, had been dishonored. His personal resentment now merged with a collective, national resentment. He was no longer just Adolf Hitler, the failed artist. He was a self-proclaimed messiah with a mission: to avenge Germany's defeat, to purify the nation, and to rebuild it into a powerful empire that would last 1,000 years. The bitterness of failure, the trauma of war, and a pre-existing ideology of hate had found the perfect vessel. He returned to a chaotic post-war Munich, a hotbed of political extremism, and found his true calling wasn't in art, but in oratory. He discovered he had a unique talent for tapping into the fears and frustrations of the German people, for articulating their anger and giving them a scapegoat for their suffering. The rejected artist had found his stage, and his audience was a nation in despair. The man who couldn't paint a future for himself was now determined to paint a dark, terrifying future for the entire world. The story of Hitler's early life is a chilling lesson in how personal grievances and unchecked hatred can spiral into something monstrous. It shows how a sense of victimhood, when combined with a powerful ideology, can justify unimaginable cruelty. His journey from a troubled boy in Austria to the Führer of the Third Reich is a stark reminder that the greatest evils are often born from the most human of feelings: failure, resentment, and a desperate need to belong. Understanding these roots is not about sympathizing with the man, but about understanding the dangerous process that created the monster. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this exploration insightful, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the pivotal moments and figures of history. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll explore Hitler's entry into politics and the rise of the Nazi Party. See you next time.